From 1991 and rounding out the Tiger Cage trilogy comes part 3, the one without Donnie Yen. A weird pantomime kind of movie. It has that feeling about it. It's rather silly and yet somehow strangely watchable. Never minding the fact that it has some serious problems within it. Now we have a simple story here of a cop who is investigating a rich banker. He's dating a lawyer banker woman, and when she gets drawn into the fray, he chases after to save her, ultimately blown up in a boat chase, left for dead. And that's the kind of start of this movie, as we follow our main character, who now runs around like the almost Phantom of the Opera, with a metal mask covering his scarred and charred face, as he is horrifying to people trying to get vengeance, save his damsel in distress and stop the bad guy. It's mental. It's absolutely crazy. It feels kind of silly and out of place in amongst this trilogy. We were started off with a gritty crime film, a kind of fun take on the Defiant Ones, and now we're into pantomime territory with this utterly weird movie. Again, it's got forced humour in it that often doesn't really work at all, which is a bit of a shame. We get some terrific action set pieces yet again. That is the standout of this movie. When you're watching some of the more baffling moments, which does make the film incredibly watchable, you know that right around the corner we're going to get an action set piece that could be as incredibly ludicrous as the film is itself. Take, for instance, we get a shootout on jet skis at one point, just because, why the hell not? Which just elevates in the movie a little bit because of the sheer silliness of it. And that action set piece keeps getting more and more crazier as somebody whips out a rocket launcher, and then you get two guys fighting in the water with machetes and harpoons, and it's just baffling but highly entertaining and watchable. You get to the later part of the movie and we've got our Phantom of the Tiger Cage running about with his metal mask on. It's really odd because you're watching these action set pieces where the mask is moulded to his face, but it's almost expressionless, and it feels like this void fighting without any kind of emotion whatsoever. You can see eyes, but that's about it, and it just kind of, it leaves a kind of emotional stint to the action set pieces. You kind of want to see the gritted teeth, the face reactions of being hit. You don't get that with this mask. It looks cool, but again, like, why is he wearing it? Just to hide his scarred face, which it doesn't even do that well because he's scarred all down one side and the mask just covers the bottom half of his face. Hey! The bad guys are generic here, not really memorable at all. They suffice to allow our hero to have action set pieces against them. Again, the action is pretty fun. Sometimes it just doesn't make a lick of sense. I don't mind that. It's just a weird movie, tonally and story-wise, which I kind of like. Certain aspects of the story, including one of the cops who is pretty sure a character is being duplicitous, and when he's trying to capture them at the end, he keeps getting outwitted, and it feels almost Home Alone-esque in the way that this character is just constantly beating this police officer. It's just silly. But regardless of the fact of whether it's silly, it doesn't make sense, it's still entertaining. and I can forgive a lot of the inconsistencies within the movie as long as it's not boring. And this one is definitely not boring. It's definitely not the most memorable of movies, but I was paying attention. I was entertained, scratching my head, but it was fun overall. The Tiger Cage trilogy is really inconsistent. None of them are tied together. All three movies are very different. I personally like the first one because I like the solid crime story that's there. The second one is a fun take on the Defiant ones, and the third one is just lunacy. Sometimes you just need to throw in everything in the kitchen sink, which they do here. I would love to know what you think of Tiger Cage 3. Did you love it? Hate it? Find yourself somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comment box below. And while you're down there, why don't you hit the like button? It really helps these videos. And in the comment box, the description box, there are links to the Patreon and the membership program where you can really help support this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.